My wife spent our entire life savings on her lover's car while I was deployed overseas, and that was just the beginning of the most devastating betrayal I could never have imagined. When I stepped off that military transport plane at Fort Bragg, I expected to find my family waiting, maybe a little celebration dinner, the usual homecoming joy. Instead, I found my driveway occupied by a gleaming red Mustang convertible that cost more than I made in 6 months. My wife Sarah stood there grinning like she'd won the lottery, and my 2 kids, Jake and Emma, were practically bouncing off the walls with excitement. "Dad, Dad! Look what Mom got us!" Jake shouted, running his hands along the car's hood. "It's so cool. And Marcus taught me how to check the oil." Marcus. That name hit me like a punch to the gut. Who the hell was Marcus? "Sarah," I said, trying to keep my voice steady, "whose car is this?" "It's ours, baby." She threw her arms around me, and I could smell expensive perfume I'd never bought her. "I wanted to surprise you. Marcus helped me get such a good deal on it." Marcus again. I set down my duffel bag and looked at my wife, really looked at her. New clothes, new haircut, new jewelry. Everything about her screamed money we didn't have. "Where did you get the money for this?" I asked, though part of me already knew the answer was going to destroy me. "From our savings, silly. I used the deployment money." Marcus said it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he was right. The kids absolutely love it. Our savings. The money I'd been putting away for 15 months overseas, living in a tent, eating MREs, dodging mortar rounds. The money meant for Emma's college fund, for Jake's braces, for the down payment on a house we'd been dreaming about since before I enlisted. "All of it?" I whispered. "Well, not all of it," she laughed nervously. "I mean, we needed some other things too. Marcus has been so helpful while you were gone. He's really good with money, and he said we should enjoy life a little, you know. Enjoy life." While I was getting shot at in Afghanistan, my wife was enjoying life with Marcus. "Kids, go inside," I said quietly. "Your mom and I need to talk." "But Dad, Marcus is coming over later. He promised to show us how to drive," Emma said excitedly. "Inside. Now." The tone in my voice made them scramble toward the house. Sarah's face went pale. "David, you're scaring me. What's wrong? I thought you'd be happy. We've been having such a great time. The kids love Marcus, and he's been like a father to them while you were gone." "Like a father. To my children. While I was serving my country." "Tell me about Marcus," I said, leaning against the car that had cost me everything. He's a friend. A really good friend. He helped me through some tough times while you were deployed." Her voice got smaller with each word. "What kind of friend, Sarah?" She looked away. "David, let's not do this here. Let's go inside and talk." "No. Right here. Right now." "What kind of friend?" The silence stretched between us like a chasm. In that moment, I could see our entire marriage crumbling, and I hadn't even been home for an hour. He's special to me, David. I didn't plan for it to happen. I was lonely, and you were gone for so long, and he was there. He understood me. Special. The word hit me like shrapnel. How special? David, please. How special, Sarah? She flinched. I love him, okay? I love him, and he loves me, and the kids love him too. He's been more of a father to them in the last 6 months than you've been in years. I felt something snap inside me. Not anger, something colder. Something calculating. So you spend our money on him. I spent our money on us. On making us happy. On giving the kids nice things. Marcus showed me how to live again, David. Really live. By buying him a car. It's not his car, it's ours. He just helped me pick it out. He has such good taste, and he knows about cars, and... Where is he now? He's at work. He'll be here later. What does he do for work? Sarah hesitated. He's in sales. He's very successful. He's shown me how to appreciate the finer things in life. Sales. Right. I'd met enough con artists overseas to recognize the type. Smooth talker, expensive taste, other people's money. Sarah, show me our bank statements. David, let's not. Show me the statements. Now. With shaking hands, she pulled out her phone and logged into our account. The number that appeared on the screen made my knees weak. Not just our savings, everything. Our checking account, our emergency fund, even the kids' college money. All of it gone. Jesus Christ, Sarah. What did you do? I invested it. Marcus showed me this amazing opportunity. He said we could triple our money in 6 months. He's so smart about business, David. He's going to make us rich. Invested. Of course. The oldest scam in the book. What kind of investment? It's complicated. Something about cryptocurrency and real estate. Marcus explained it all to me, but I don't remember the details. He handles all the technical stuff. My phone buzzed. A text from my buddy Mike, who worked in financial crimes back home. Heard you were coming back today. Need to talk to you about something urgent. Call me ASAP. I excused myself and called Mike. Dave, thank God. I've been trying to reach Sarah for weeks. There's a guy named Marcus Dalton who's been running a Ponzi scheme in your area. He's been targeting military wives, specifically. We think he's taken at least $200,000 from various families. Is Sarah involved with him? The world tilted. How involved? Dave. I'm sorry, man. We have surveillance footage of them together. It's not just financial. This guy specifically targets lonely military wives, gets them emotionally invested, then cleans out their accounts. We're moving to arrest him tomorrow. Tomorrow. After he'd taken everything from us. Mike, he's coming to my house tonight. Dave, do not do anything stupid. Let us handle this legally. How much of our money is gone? Probably all of it. These guys are professionals. They don't leave anything behind. I hung up and walked back to Sarah, who was now crying on the hood of the car that had cost us our future. Sarah, we need to call the police. What? Why? Because Marcus is a criminal. He's been scamming military families. The FBI is going to arrest him tomorrow. The color drained from her face. That's impossible. You're lying. You're just jealous because he's successful and you're not. I'm not lying. And I'm not jealous. I'm devastated that my wife fell for a con artist and gave him our children's future. He loves me, David. He wouldn't do that to me. He's done it to at least a dozen other wives, Sarah. You're not special. You're just another Mark. She slapped me. Hard. Don't you dare talk to me like that. Marcus has been nothing but good to us. He's bought the kids clothes, taken us out to dinner, shown us how to have fun. When's the last time you did any of that? I was deployed, Sarah. I was serving our country so you could have a safe home to live in. You were hiding, David. You were hiding from real life, from real responsibility. Marcus stepped up when you ran away. Hiding. After 15 months of hell, she thought I was hiding. Kids. I called toward the house. Come here. Jake and Emma came running out, still excited about the car. Dad, can we go for a ride? Marcus said he'd teach us to drive. About Marcus, I said, kneeling down to their level. What do you think of him? He's awesome. Jake said. He's got the coolest clothes and he knows everything about cars and sports and stuff. He said he might take us to Disney World. He's really nice to Mom, Emma added. He makes her laugh all the time. And he brings us presents. Presents. Of course he did. With our money. Has he ever asked you to keep secrets from Daddy? The kids exchanged glances. He said some grown-up stuff should stay between grown-ups, Emma said quietly. What kind of grown-up stuff? Like how much money things cost, and where we go when you're not here, and... She trailed off. And what, sweetie? And how he sleeps over sometimes. Sarah's face went white. Emma, that's not. In your bedroom, right? I asked gently. Emma nodded. But Marcus said it was okay because Daddy was far away and Mommy gets scared at night. I stood up slowly. My children. My babies. Had been living in a house with a con artist who was sleeping with their mother and probably planning to disappear with everything we had. Sarah, pack a bag for the kids. They're staying with my mom tonight. You can't just. I can and I will. This man is a criminal, and I won't have my children around him for one more second. David, you're being ridiculous. Marcus would never. A red Mustang pulled into the driveway. Not the one Sarah had bought, a different one. Newer. More expensive. Marcus stepped out, and I had to admit, he looked exactly like what Central Casting would order for a con artist. Perfectly styled hair, expensive suit, confident smile, the kind of guy who looked like he belonged on the cover of a magazine. Hey there, he called out, walking toward us with his arms spread wide. You must be David. I've heard so much about you. Sarah's told me all about your service overseas. Thank you for your sacrifice, brother. Brother. This guy was calling me brother while he was sleeping with my wife and stealing my money. Marcus, I said, not moving from where I stood. I hope you don't mind me dropping by. I brought some steaks for dinner. Thought we could celebrate your homecoming properly. Sarah's been so worried about you. He walked over and put his arm around my wife's waist. Possessively. Like she belonged to him. Actually, Marcus, we need to talk, I said. Of course. Sarah's told me you might have some questions about our investment. I'm excited to show you the numbers. We're going to make you a very wealthy man, David. Our investment. The cryptocurrency portfolio I set up for Sarah. She's been very smart with her money while you were gone. Very smart. He squeezed her waist. I've been taking good care of your family. I'll bet you have. Marcus, I just got off the phone with the FBI. His smile faltered for just a second. Just long enough for me to see the real person underneath the mask. The FBI. Why would you? They're very interested in talking to you. Something about a Ponzi scheme targeting military wives. David, what are you doing? Sarah stepped forward. Marcus, don't listen to him. He's just upset because. Sarah, honey, it's okay, Marcus said, but his voice had changed. The confident salesman was gone, replaced by something harder. David, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm a legitimate businessman. I've helped your wife make some very smart investments. Show me the portfolio. I'm sorry. Show me the cryptocurrency portfolio. The accounts. The real estate investments. Show me where our money went. Marcus and Sarah exchanged glances. In that moment, I saw her realize the truth. All of it. Her face crumpled. Marcus, she whispered. Show him the accounts. Sarah, you don't understand how these things work. The money is tied up in long-term investments. It's not liquid right now. Show him, Marcus. I can't just. Show him the money, Marcus. The mask came off completely. Look, lady, I told you this was a risky investment. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's business. Lady. Not Sarah. Not honey. Lady. Sarah staggered backward like she'd been shot. What did you just call me? I called you what you are. A lonely housewife who was stupid enough to give her money to a stranger. Did you really think I was going to marry you? Did you really think I loved you? The cruelty in his voice was breathtaking. My wife, my children, they'd all been manipulated by this monster. But you said. Sarah was sobbing now. You said we were going to be together. You said you'd take care of us. I said whatever you needed to hear to get access to your accounts. That's what I do. That's my job. The kids. She whispered. You were so good with the kids. The kids were useful. They trusted me, so you trusted me. Basic psychology. Jake and Emma were standing behind me, and I could feel them trembling. They'd heard everything. Marcus, I said quietly, you have about 30 seconds to get off my property before I call the police. Already called them, actually, he said, pulling out his phone. Told them there was a domestic dispute at this address. Told them the veteran husband just got home and was making threats against his wife's friend. They should be here any minute. Smart. He'd covered his bases. Made himself look like the victim. Good, I said. I'm looking forward to talking to them. David, they're going to arrest you, not me. I'm just a businessman who tried to help your wife invest her money. You're the one making threats. What threats? The threats you're about to make when you realize your wife is in love with me and wants a divorce. Sarah looked up at him with pure horror. I never said I wanted a divorce. You didn't have to say it, sweetheart. Actions speak louder than words. You spent his money on me, you slept with me, you let me parent his children. What do you think divorce looks like? The police sirens were getting closer. Marcus straightened his tie and smiled. Here's what's going to happen, David. The cops are going to see a successful businessman who's been helping a military wife manage her finances while her husband was deployed. They're going to see a violent veteran who just got home and is threatening everyone in sight. Guess who they're going to believe? He was right. And he knew it. Unless. He said, his smile getting wider, we can work something out. What kind of something? You sign over the house to Sarah, she signs over the house to me, and I'll make sure the kids are taken care of. You can start over somewhere else. Clean slate. And if I don't? Then I disappear tomorrow morning, your wife gets charged as an accessory to fraud, your kids go into foster care, and you spend the next 10 years in legal hell trying to prove you weren't involved. The police cars pulled into the driveway. 4 officers got out, hands on their weapons. Officers. Marcus called out cheerfully. Thank God you're here. This man just got home from deployment and he's been threatening me and his wife. I think he might be having some kind of episode. PTSD. Of course. The perfect explanation for why a veteran might be acting irrationally. Sir, step away from your family, one of the officers said to me. I raised my hands and stepped back. Officers, my name is David Martinez. I'm a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. I just returned from Afghanistan this morning. This man has been running a con game on my wife and has stolen our life savings. Sir, we need you to remain calm. I am calm. I'm also right. If you'll give me 2 minutes, I can prove everything I'm saying. David, please, Sarah said, walking toward Marcus. Just sign the papers. I'll make sure the kids are okay. She was still choosing him. Even after everything he'd just said to her. Even after he'd revealed himself to be a monster. Sarah, he just told you he was using you. He just told you he never loved you. He just told you the kids were tools. He's upset, she said. He didn't mean it like that. I meant every word of it, Marcus said. But I'm willing to be reasonable. Sign the papers, David. Take the deal. What papers? Marcus pulled a folder from his car. Divorce papers. Property transfer. Custody agreement. I had them drawn up this morning. This morning. He'd been planning this exact scenario. You knew I was coming home today. I know everything about you, David. I know your deployment schedule, your bank account numbers, your social security number, your mother's maiden name. I know more about your life than you do. How? Because your wife gave me everything. Every password, every document, every detail. She wanted to share her life with me, so I let her. Sarah was crying again. I thought you loved me. I love your money, sweetheart. I love your house. I love your car. I love your husband's benefits. I don't love you. Officers, I said, I need to make a phone call. Sir, we need to resolve this situation first. The phone call will resolve the situation. I pulled out my phone and called Mike. Mike, I need you to talk to the officers here. Now. I handed the phone to the lead officer. The conversation was short. Mr. Martinez, we're going to need everyone to come down to the station. There's an ongoing federal investigation that involves this situation. Marcus's confidence flickered. Investigation into what? Into you, Mr. Dalton. You're under arrest for wire fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The handcuffs came out. Marcus's perfect mask finally cracked completely. This is ridiculous. I'm a legitimate businessman. Sarah, tell them. But Sarah was staring at him like she'd never seen him before. I don't know you at all, do I? You knew me well enough to give me everything you had, he snarled as the officers led him away. You knew me well enough to betray your husband. You knew me well enough to put your children at risk. Don't pretend you're innocent here, Sarah. You're just as guilty as I am. He was right. And in that moment, I realized that my marriage was over. Not because of what he'd done, but because of what she'd chosen to do. After the police left, Sarah and I sat on the porch steps while the kids played inside. The silence between us was deafening. How much of the money can we get back? She finally asked. Probably none of it. What are we going to do? I don't know what you're going to do. I'm going to start over. David, we can work through this. We can rebuild. I made a mistake, but we can. You didn't make a mistake, Sarah. You made a choice. You chose him over me. You chose his promises over our future. You chose his lies over our truth. I was lonely. So was I. I was lonely and scared and cold and tired and getting shot at every day. But I never chose anyone over you. I never chose anything over our family. What about the kids? What about them? They need their father. They need their father, not their father's money. They need their father's love, not their father's house. They need their father's time, not their father's sacrifice. Are you leaving us? I looked at her, really looked at her. She was beautiful. She was the mother of my children. She was the woman I'd married and promised to love forever. And she was a stranger. I'm not leaving them. I'm leaving you. David, please. Sarah, in 15 months overseas, I sent you every penny I could spare. I wrote you letters every day. I called whenever I could get to a phone. I counted down the days until I could come home to you. And while I was doing that, you were falling in love with a con artist who was stealing our future. I didn't know he was a con artist. You knew he wasn't me. She had no answer for that. I want a divorce, I said quietly. David, think about what you're saying. Think about our family. I am thinking about our family. I'm thinking about Jake and Emma growing up in a house where their mother betrayed their father. I'm thinking about them learning that promises don't matter, that marriage vows are just words, that love is conditional. That's not fair. None of this is fair, Sarah. It's not fair that I spent 15 months in hell while you were playing house with a criminal. It's not fair that our kids watched their mother choose a stranger over their father. It's not fair that everything I worked for is gone. We can rebuild. No, we can't. Because I can't trust you. I can't trust you with our money, I can't trust you with our children, and I can't trust you with our marriage. You broke all of that when you chose him. I choose you now. You choose me now because he's in jail. You choose me now because the money's gone. You choose me now because you don't have any other options. That's not love, Sarah. That's desperation. What happens now? Now I file for divorce. I fight for custody of my children. I start over with nothing, just like I did when I enlisted 15 years ago. And me? You live with your choices. 6 months later, I was living in a small apartment across town, sharing custody of Jake and Emma, and working 2 jobs to pay for the divorce lawyer. Sarah had moved back in with her parents, and the house had been sold to pay off the debts Marcus had left behind. The kids were adjusting better than I'd expected. Kids are resilient. They'd learned a hard lesson about trust and consequences, but they were still my kids, and they still loved me. Sarah had tried to reconcile several times, but I'd made my choice. Some betrayals are too deep to heal from. Some trust, once broken, can never be rebuilt. I got a call from Mike one evening. Marcus had been sentenced to 12 years in federal prison. He'd stolen over $3 million from military families, and Sarah wasn't even his most devastating victim. There was a woman in Colorado who'd lost her house, her kids, and her sanity to his schemes. How's Sarah handling it? Mike asked. She's not my problem anymore, I said. That's cold, man. No, it's honest. She made her choice. I made mine. Any regrets? I looked around my small apartment. My kids were asleep in their beds, safe and loved. I had a job that paid the bills and gave me purpose. I had my self-respect and my integrity intact. None, I said. Good for you, brother. Good for you. The divorce was final 2 weeks later. I kept the kids 3 days a week, every other weekend, and alternating holidays. Sarah kept the debt and the shame. I never remarried. I never felt the need to. I'd learned that love without trust is just words, and words without actions are just noise. My kids grew up strong and smart and careful. They learned early that actions have consequences, that trust is earned, and that family is about more than blood or marriage certificates. Jake's in college now, studying engineering. Emma's a senior in high school, planning to go into social work. They both know the story of what happened when I came home from Afghanistan. They both understand why I made the choices I did. They're proud of me. That's all that matters. Looking back, I realized that Marcus did me a favor. He showed me who my wife really was when the chips were down. He showed me what our marriage was really worth when it was tested. He showed me that sometimes the person you trust most in the world is the person most capable of destroying you. But he also showed me that I could survive anything. That I could rebuild from nothing. That I could choose dignity over desperation, truth over comfort, and self-respect over false reconciliation. Sarah still calls sometimes. She's lonely. She's struggling. She wants to try again. I wish her well. I hope she finds happiness. I hope she learns from her mistakes. But I'm done being her safety net. I'm done being her second choice. I'm done being the man she settles for when her dreams don't work out. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm just done. Some stories don't have happy endings. Some betrayals don't lead to reconciliation. Some trust, once broken, stays broken. But some people, when they lose everything, discover they're stronger than they ever imagined. I'm one of those people. And that's worth more than any house, any car, or any marriage built on lies. The kids and I are building something new. Something honest. Something real. Something that no con artist, no matter how smooth, can ever take away. That's my story. That's my truth. That's my life. And I'm proud of every choice I made. What would you have done? Have you ever had to choose between forgiveness and self-respect? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more real stories about real people making impossible choices.